Hey everyone, I'm Jelsy. Welcome to my channel. I'm super excited that you're here with me now. Today I'm going to talk about episode 3 of season 8 of One Calls a Heart. Like, the first 3 episodes that have aired have been explosive. I feel like at one point in every episode that has aired, there has been a moment where we're like jaw-dropping, like I lost it, I don't know where it is. Yeah, truly a roller coaster, and only 3 episodes have aired. I can't even imagine, like, I am so ready, and there's like 9 episodes left. I don't know, my emotions. That episode 2 ending, I wish I had a video to show you. Like, I was literally sliding down my chair as things progressed on that scene. I was shook. It was such an amazing scene, and like Aaron's performance and Kevin's performance was like on point. Before I begin, I would like to invite you to subscribe to this channel. There'll be more videos coming soon, and also remember to follow me on Instagram at iamJelsy videos. So let's go through episode 3 a bit. It's titled From the Ashes. It was written by Derek Thompson and directed by Peter DeLuise. Okay, right at the beginning, Clara is displaying at the dress shop some Freedom Alls. Yes, Freedom Alls are basically like a one-piece garment. It's a fashion statement that Faith brought with her from Chicago, but it's basically like 2 pieces with the same fabric, so it looks like a one piece, and the majority of them, the bottoms are pants. Fashion evolution is coming to Hope Valley, and that's cool. I just wanted to mention that. Also in the same scene, we see a glimpse of one of the things that has been on Rosemary's mind, and she mentions to Elizabeth how she'll probably, give the dress shop to Clara because she doesn't see herself working there all her life. And Elizabeth is surprised, and I have to say, so was I, because we've seen Rosemary, develop that dress shop, and I know it means a lot to her, but I know that also motherhood is on her mind, and she also loves to do many things, so we'll just have to see. Then we transition to a walk and talk between Elizabeth and Rosemary, and Rosemary knows what happened with Nathan and his declaration of love for Elizabeth. And what's curious to me is that Rosemary also mentions that if Elizabeth hadn't gone off the way she did when she did, who knows what would have happened. In this moment, Elizabeth is sure of the decisions she made regarding Nathan. I'm not so sure about that, but we'll see. There's the scene between Florence and Molly where they're at the Mercantile, and Florence mentions how she's expecting a gift she ordered for Ned's birthday, and Molly is like, I should do the same thing for Bill's birthday. And Florence knows Bill, and she's like, well, good luck finding a gift because he basically has everything. And then Molly gives one of the most epic lines that she's ever said. He doesn't have a wife. I was like, okay, girl. She says she's kidding, but she isn't. I really liked that Gowan apologizes to Ned for basically accusing him of opening his mail. Also, he brings flowers for Florence because Florence defended Ned. In that moment, she thought that Gowan was treating Ned unfairly. And all this transpired in episode 2. I think it was very lovely of Gowan, and Gowan is one of those characters that you don't know what he's gonna do or where he's going, and I'm very intrigued by his story this season. And at one point in this episode, he receives a letter, and from whom? I mean, is it a family member? I think it's a family member, and we don't know much about Gowan's family history. So I'm intrigued by that. And also, Gowan really wanted back in the oil business with Lucas, and now all of a sudden he's hesitant about it, and something's up. Something is up. Elizabeth is distracted while working on her manuscript with Helen. She has a lot on her mind. she's conflicted, and then she looks out the window and she sees Nathan. Her mind just, I imagine like her mind just reeling.
What am I gonna do?
Lee is selling his motorcycle. That motorcycle brings back memories from season 2 when Rosemary and Lee met. Jesse loves it. He wants to buy it. Clara won't even consider it. She's like, no, because she knows how dangerous it is. And Jesse just buys it anyway. I don't think the whole motorcycle thing is resolved, so we'll have to see. Then we have the scene at the Derricks, just when Lucas is saying that he probably is going to shut down the project of digging up oil there, and then suddenly oil just bursts out. They celebrate. They're all relieved, especially Lucas. But then that excitement changes quite quickly when they see fire, and then there's an explosion. Nathan, Henry, Bill, Ned, Jesse, they all arrive at the scene. Bill is asking for more men to help, and then my girl Fiona just wants to help, and she asks Bill, like, does it have to be a man? Love that. Their plan is to direct dynamite straight to the fire in hopes that the explosion extinguishes the fire, cutting off its oxygen. And I'm here like, guys, is this really a plan? Yeah. Hey, but it worked. Poor Hickam, he can't catch a break. He's at the cafe dabbing his face with cream for his burns. And the funny thing is that there's this serious scene going on between Lucas and his mother, and you can see Hickam in the background, like. Florence and Ned Yost, aka Flo-Yo, I think that's their ship name. They have this magical moment where their hands touch, and I'm like, ooh. Lee and his chair. Like, Lee ordered a chair to be sent to them from South America, and he doesn't want anyone to sit on it before him. And Rosemary is very curious, and at one point when Lee is not there, she decides to sit on it, and she notices it's very comfortable, but she just drops to the floor, and the chair is no more. This chair actually brought back memories for Lee. It reminded him of his grandfather and the times that they spent together building things, and they had built a chair that looked just like that one. He wanted to make things with his hands. Then Rosemary takes space out of her special place to make a special place for Lee so that he can build things, and it was so sweet. Faith and Carson. Okay, so I was a bit disappointed with Carson. Ned came in with pain on his foot, and Faith is there. She examines him, she gives him a diagnosis, but then Carson comes in and he completely just doesn't acknowledge Faith's diagnosis. He was not listening to her, and she had experienced this so much when she was in Chicago studying. Faith lets him know how she feels, and she's like, okay, so you say that I'm a gifted doctor. I don't just want to hear it, I want to be treated as such. Mic drop. So throughout this episode, it's like Elizabeth is avoiding Nathan because of the whole thing that transpired at the end of episode 2. And there's this scene where Elizabeth and Bill are talking, and it's not clear who approached who first, but it's like Elizabeth is not talking to Nathan, but she wants to know what's going on with him, so she just goes to Bill. So she hears about Nathan's inquiry. So at the beginning of the episode, Superintendent Hargraves approaches Nathan. We see that there's kind of this tension between them. Hargraves tells Nathan about the inquiry and how he's going to be a witness in an investigation regarding the shooting that happened in the season finale of season 7. Hargraves also very seriously says to Nathan that his job is on the line. And Nathan has just been going through a lot. If you think about the scene in season 7, the shooting, like, Nathan tried to calm things down. So this dude, Hargraves, just does not like him, but why? Bill tried to get to the bottom of it, but he didn't get a response. At the end of the episode, we see Elizabeth and Lucas, but first, Elizabeth talks to Helen and encourages her to speak to her husband, because Helen and her husband are like kind of separated and not speaking. Lucas knows that Elizabeth knew about what was going on with his parents while he was in the dark about it. I have to say that it was refreshing to see this emotional side of Lucas, which we really haven't seen since he came in season 6. And there we go to this part of the conversation where Elizabeth mentions to Lucas, like, hey, this is what I told your mother, that she should fight for love and that maybe she needs to do the first approach. And Lucas then says, like, what do you know about that? And Elizabeth was stunned and she said that it was cruel. I get Lucas's perspective in terms that, okay, so Elizabeth, you're giving this advice, but you're not taking this advice yourself, with us. So that was basically episode 3 of season 8 of One Calls a Heart. This is, in essence, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I'm just really excited to see what's to come and see how everything transpires during this season. And then episode 4, the promo just left me shook as well, because it turns out that Nathan was actually stationed in Fort Clay, which is where Jack was. Maybe they didn't talk, but they saw each other, or so shout out to my friend Emily who mentioned this to me, and I thought about it and I was like, this actually could be it. She mentioned how maybe Nathan couldn't get to the position that he was supposed to, and then Jack replaced him, and then you guys know what happened. So there are many theories. So I'm so curious. I'm intrigued. The intrigue is strong. Thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments your thoughts about episode 3. I would love to know. Hope you have a great week and weekend. God bless. See you guys on my next video. Bye.